Here's what we have is called the ABT switch, and this takes the power from the two generators. One is your mains generator, denoted by the mains input here. You have your black, red, and blue. That's your three phases. Your white is your neutral conductor, and the green is the ground. Alright. On this side we have the generator input, and the same wires, 5 wires, coming from the what we denote as a standby generator, and that'll be important in setting up these auto start wires. Over here is your output of the ABT. This is your circuit breaker. Right now it's in the red position, which means it's closed. Green is open, as you see the little circle in the green there, and red is closed, but you have the dash line. The generator input, you have these 5 wires, and these wires are capable of carrying up to 200 amps, but this generator can only do 104. Right. Here I want to talk about the ABT control panel. This is this display right here. You have several buttons. You have manual, auto, which the ABT defaults in, your alarm button, and if you want to just go to the display right away, then you just mash that button and it puts you on display, which is this display is really hard to see. You have a menu button up and down for control of the menu, and an enter button that gives you your choice in the menu. You also have these buttons: request mains, transfer to generator, request generator, and this works in manual. If you want to manually go to the backup generator, you would press the request generator button, and then to switch the load over to it, you hit the transfer to generator as soon as everything comes up to where it's supposed to be. You would do that to perform maintenance on the primary generator. Alright, let's see how this works in real life. I'm going to start the mains input. Same thing, the wires run over to what we've denoted as the main generator. This is your primary source right now. This is the one that'll start up in the automatic mode when you attach the auto start cables. One important thing to know when you're running in auto is to have your NATO slave wire hooked to your other generator. And usually if you're running these generators, they would be in a berm kind of close together. When you put them in the berm, however, make sure that they're spaced far enough apart where you can open these doors to perform any kind of service that you might need to do, is changing the oil, checking the oil and such. They have to be spaced at least a couple feet apart in order to open these doors where you can comfortably get in and do maintenance. And you also have to consider this back access, which is your batteries. You want to be able to open it up and access your batteries to do whatever you would need to do in there. There's your ground rod that comes with it. You can use that ground rod if you want, or you can use the ground rods that are supplied to you through the project. This is your storage of auxiliary fuel line and paralleling cable. We also have the fuel fittings in there that would be needed to hook to a fuel bladder or another generator. This is your oil drain. You would take that plug out if you're draining the oil, and you have a valve right there. You open that valve and you're able to catch your oil. The auto start receptacle, and this wire fits in this slot like this, and then to lock it in you turn it, and it's not locked in until it's turned. It doesn't make contact with any wire until it's turned, and I don't want to do that right now. But as you can see, when we're going to start up in automatic here, this switch can stay in the off position, and that's where you want it in automatic. But the generator has to be on, and this screen showing. This cable is your auto start cable, has to go to the mains input on the ABT, because that is the generator that you said was the mains generator. And there's your mains input, if you can see that. Okay, this cable plugs into output to main source 1. Now you also have this input wire here, which plugs into main source 1, and you have to have that in there because of the way the MEPs start. If you had a generator that only needed to see a closed set of contacts to start, you could just use this receptacle here to start it. You'd have to modify one of these auto start wires to do that, but it's not a big deal. The other side is the same way. You have the wire coming from the generator source 2 input to the generator source 2 remote start output. This is the display screen of the ABT. Kind of hard to see, I know. But here is where you would control your generator. Now there's a Ethernet connection that you can make to control the operation of the generators and the ABT via a laptop and the ATS software. Is your smart relay, and I'm on the main side right now. Your smart relay is just a control device. You usually don't have any interaction with it at all except for troubleshooting purposes. It shows a screen on there that gives the 3 commands that are needed to start this generator, which are fault reset, crank, and close circuit interrupter. And I'll show you that later. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen or not, but we'll try. I'm at the source 2 generator, or the backup generator, and this is the generator that will come on automatically if there was a problem with the other generator, such as, I don't know, you lose oil pressure or some problem. You have certain voltage limits that if it goes below the voltage limit, then the ABT will switch over to this generator, start it, close the AC interrupt, and then the load switches over to this generator at this time. But right now, just showing automatic operation. We've got everything on. Everything's on the backup generator. I'm going to plug in the auto start cable. Like I said, it goes in, twist. Now, the operation had started to do automatic, you'll see the screen that's on the fault line, and then the generator starts. Controls the startup of the generator using its 24-volt power supply, and that directly comes off of the batteries of the generator itself. That battery signal is transmitted through the auto start cable over to the ABT, which tells the smart relay to give the 3 signals for the generator to start, and the generator starts. Now the ABT defaults to auto position and the mains being on. These 2 lights indicate that the mains are on. The alarm light is on for one reason. It's because the other generator is not started. That's a normal condition. You don't want that generator on all the time. However, after the mains have started, you can plug in the other auto start cable. Nothing really happens. The generator is in standby right now. In case something was to go wrong with the primary generator, this generator is not going to start. In order to show that the backup generator will start up, I'm pressing the emergency stop switch. As you can see, the backup generator has started, and it's operational. The load has been transferred over. I don't know if you can see it, but it's transferred. The ABT is on, but you also see these buttons: transfer to generator and request generator on. That shows that the backup is what is requested right now, because the primary source has a fault. Now the request mains light is still on. That's normal, because it's saying you have a fault with the primary generator, but if you were to clear that fault, I would start up the primary and shut down the secondary generator, the backup generator. I'm clearing the emergency stop fault. Well, the generator is not going to start yet. The way to reset the fault is to take this cable out and plug it back in. That shows everything resetting, and you'll see that we get the fault reset, screen goes blank, generator starts. Now the primary generator is back up to operation. It has the load on it, and the backup generator is going to go through a 5-minute cool down and shut off. And you can see that on the smart relay on the ABT side of the generator input. Just get this cover off right here. You see it's in the cool down mode. I don't know if you can see that, but it's showing cooling. And for 5 minutes it'll run the backup generator and turn it off. Now, if I wanted to, I could shut this generator off by pressing the left side arrow button and the escape button at the same time. And I'm going to try to do that, but I'm not going to promise. Now that noise you just heard was the ABT switching the load from the backup generator over to the mains generator. It does that without losing power if conditions are right. So anyway, now we're in cool down. I'm going to try and shut the generator down. So that's a little shortcut to shutting the generator down, but it'll do it in 5 minutes anyway.